Hello, parents of Science Talent students and my Science Talents as well. This is a special holiday recording intended to update the parents on where we are with the Science Talent class and the competitions and contests and tournaments that are going on to date that the students are involved in. To date, this has been for the majority of students, the most successful Science Talent class I have had since coming to Bay Academy. Students who were in my 6th grade class who are now 8th graders, I would say a good 3/4 of them are utilizing the opportunity to be a part of many of these academic science competitions that I've proposed and that I've really built the class around. For the other 25%, this is not happening. And for parents, I really do want you to listen carefully to what I'm going to say, because it's very important about what happens over the next few months. We're more than 1/3 of the way through the school year, and many students are still not taking advantage or even participating in any of the contests and competitions that are being offered. I do want to say again that when the year started, I sent out ample information to the parents explaining that your sons and daughters are being offered an opportunity by Miss Timo in 6th and 8th grade to be a part of a class that they will never, ever be able to be a part of again. They will not get this class in high school. They will not get this in college. If they're going to do any of this, they're going to have to do it on their own, and they will have to do all the research on their own as well. What I've done is I have put together, since high schools, colleges, and employers are looking to take on students who have actively participated in some type of competitive science or academic events. First and foremost, they're looking for these kind of students. I've put together as many competitions as I possibly could with the intention of explaining that the students really need to dive right in. And I do understand that there's a lot of responsibility that falls on the shoulders of the students for this program, but this is why Bay Academy is the #1 middle school in New York City, and particularly our science department. We have the best science department around, bar none. Between our Science Talent classes, Science Olympiad, and all the other contests and competitions that we're in, no other middle school offers this to any student. So if your students are here and they're not taking advantage of this, it is through no fault of mine or the administration's. I have given them ample opportunity to do this. So let's do a quick recap. The contests were updated September 21st. They were on from the first day the students came to school, but I updated them as of September 21st. And this is the page right here. Once you click on, we're on bayacademyscience.com. This is our homepage. You click on to Science Contests and you come to this. It was very important that the students read this site completely because their talent grade will depend on it. Now, some of the contests and competitions I have presented as mandatory. They are absolutely part of the program and they have to do them. They could have easily watched this video presentation, this PowerPoint presentation, and it would have told them everything too. This was all explained in the beginning of the year. Okay, so let's go down to see how the program works. So throughout the year, there are contests and competitions. They are rolling, which means they open at different times of the year. And so what I try and do is I try and pace them so that the students have an opportunity to, when they're finishing with one, they can start another. One of the earliest ones that we started with was Future Engineers. This is a mandatory competition. It is a great competition. This is the one that, as you know, this was the Name the Rover competition. Very simple, very easy. All of our students participated in it, and we will be hearing the results, I believe, January 8th. That's the other thing, too. So when you participate in these, and you enter them, you don't hear right away. It takes the judges a long time to get all the information together. And then what's going to happen with future engineers? Last year we had 2 finalists. So they go through another series of review, and then they go through interviews in the school. They'll be interviewed by people from NASA, scientists, computer graphic people. It's really a very fun experience for the students to go through. Okay, so future engineers, they had to do that one. Engineer Girl. This is just an essay. It's just an essay. It's 600 to 1,100 words, but mind you that it's critical. We've had some kids come up pretty well with this, but it's critical that they absolutely follow the directions. With any of these competitions or contests, it's important that when they go onto the site, all of these things are read. Now, many students just jump right in and they do something without reading the rules and regulations. And by not reading the rules and regulations, what's going to happen is they are not going to be putting together what they need to correctly to win the competitions. This is one of our problems why we haven't been doing well with Future City, because Future City is a 100-page manual that I gave to each one of the teams, and it's uploadable. All the members can upload it on their computers. But even for this, something as simple as a 600 to 1,100 word essay, there are an awful lot of things that they really need to look at. Right now, what they really need to know is, I believe this is due February, and it sounds like I don't know when it's due. Well, I am not submitting to the contest. Part of this class is for students to find out about an academic competition, research it, find out when the due dates are, find out when the deadlines are, and they should have this sheet with them so they know. And they also always can go back to the Bay Academy Science website to find out any information they need. So let's go back to, so now Engineer Girl is the second mandatory. Third mandatory is University of Scranton Earth Day essay. And I believe this is going to be coming up. We had our 6th grade winner 2 years ago. Lola was one of our winners. And you get invited up to Scranton, over to Scranton, to be part of the presentation, the award ceremony. This, I believe, let me see. I believe that when you go on to the Scranton site, this is I believe last year's webpage, but the Earth Day contest, it says the submissions are due by April 2nd, 2019. And I always tell the students, if it says April 2nd, 2019, then chances are for the current contest, it will be around April 2nd, 2020. Okay, so let's go back. And these are the things that they have to research. One of the problems with the computers in the class is I had given them all the computers at the beginning of the year. Everything was working out fine until, as you know, some of the students started changing the desktop, putting funny pictures on there, going on inappropriate websites, vandalizing the computers, popping keys off, all kinds of fun stuff. So they lost access to the computers. But they can always bring in their own personal laptop in, pop the keys off if they like. They can bring in an iPad if they like. But they could do this at home. I just went through all of these sites before I started making this video, and it took me half an hour to go through all of them. So let's go down here. So you know, these are some of the newly added challenges. I tried to get the students interested in these, and I wish, parents, I wish you would talk to your sons and daughters and ask them why they didn't take up these opportunities. This looked like a great one, the Paradigm Challenge. It's a brand new competition. It's a major competition. They could have easily signed up for this and gone in as a small group. Lexis Eco Challenge. Some of the students who found themselves out of the Future City competition and out of eCyber mission for whatever reason were trying to go into Lexis Eco until they said that they found that the competition was currently only open to people who had participated in the first two sections of it. So if you had gone in, this is the website, if you had gone in and done the first two competitions, then you would be invited to the third one. If you had done these two, which not a single student took advantage of this year, you see what they are. This is $10,000 award, $10,000, and a grand prize of $30,000. I begged the students to get a small group and to do this. Unfortunately, I'll get to it in a minute, but I'm hoping that this is really not the last time I offer these kind of things to the students because of a relative malaise or disinterest in them. But anyway, let's get back to this. Samsung, Solve for Tomorrow. Some of the students were looking to go on this now, and unfortunately, Samsung is now closed. So this is no longer available to them. If they had done all of this and registered when I asked them to, this would not be a problem. So one of the contests that is open, and we have two groups now, two 8th grade groups. One 6th grade group and one 8th grade group doing the Safe Career Video Contest. They're putting together a video. It's kind of a lightweight contest, but it does carry with it a good, a decent amount of prize money. So these are all major competitions that they really should have been looking into at some point. These were just the new ones. So now these are other major competitions. Science Olympiad was chosen it gets chosen in June. So for the upcoming 7th and 8th graders, they get chosen in June, and then we pick the 6th graders in the beginning of September, October. Future City, I gave 20 teams the opportunity to put together materials. I gave them a couple of months. I picked 5 8th grade teams and 5 6th grade teams. The 8th grade team started very strong. 6th grade teams started extremely strong. A couple of the 8th grade teams are now kind of slowing down and really not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know why. It's a great competition, and it's regional and nationwide. Explorer Vision, what I did with Explorer Vision, and each one of these, if you want to find out about them, you can just click right on the title of it. And Explorer Vision, I made it mandatory that the students register for this, because if it came down where they were not in Science Olympiad, or they were not Future City, or they were not Lexus Eco, they could be part of the Toshiba, part of the Explorer Vision. Cart in the Garden, I think we have a couple of teams doing that. eCyber Mission also. Explorer Vision is one of my favorites. This is not the one I had them sign up for on a mandatory basis. It was eCyber Mission. Everybody had to register for this in case something happened. Explorer Vision, it is such an unbelievable program. Big winnings in this. And again, I don't always want to push the winnings because I don't want people to think that it's all about the money, that it's all about the Benjamins. Well, sometimes it is. Not always, though. But when you're doing these, it's really all about the experience. Benjamins don't hurt, though. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this Science Talent Program Part 1. We're getting down to my 15-minute maximum on Screenomatic, the visual recorder. So I will stop this now, and I will then pick up and make a part 2.